Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of the kNOw Hype Zone. I am Seth. This is Lance. Today we have a special guest. James is going to come hang out with us today and talk sports and just have some fun.
Absolutely.
I love it. We are here at Atlas Performance Training, as you can see with our background here. We do all of our shows out of our training studio. Lance and I work here. We are trainers at Atlas Performance Training. So we want to thank Chris for letting us put this up. He is the owner.
Absolutely.
Mr. Chris,
Thank you
Mr. Chris.
very much.
You're the man, Chris.
He makes it happen.
All the time.
We appreciate that. Also today we have shirts up are from Campo Verde Football. So thanks B-Rad for giving us the shirt.
The Coyotes.
And then my buddy Sean Connors, I want to give you a shout out. He is a Border Patrol agent down in Tucson.
Lord knows we need them.
Yes. He started his own t-shirt company, squareup.com/guardian. He's got a shirt for us here today. So he started his own t-shirt company. So kudos to you and thank you for the shirt, my friend.
And it looks like great workout material.
Yeah.
Dry fit kind of, this thing will flow nicely when you're sweating.
I agree. Yeah, good stuff. I haven't had a chance to wear it yet, Sean, but I will, my friend. So thank you very much for that. So here we are, gentlemen, episode 3.
Yes, sir.
The biggest news is the Super Bowl is this weekend. What do you guys think? Who you got? Where you want to start?
It's been a crazy year.
It's been really crazy. It's been really crazy. I think, right now, I want to hear you guys' pick, and then I'm going to kind of break it down.
Did we think that this is where they were going to end up? Did we think at the beginning of the year, did you think maybe Rams? I think everybody kind of thought Patriots, who's going to knock them out of the AFC. But did you guys have the Rams, or did you have the Saints, or what was it before the season you guys thought would happen?
I didn't have either of these teams in there. Especially at the beginning of the season, when we saw the Patriots. Everyone's like, "Oh my God, the Patriots are going down!" Like the first month of the season, but we always get fooled because every year, the first month of the season, they're trying to find their own way.
Right.
Defense kind of crappy a little bit, but then they kind of brought it together. Of course, Belichick, greatest coach ever in my opinion.
That's for another.
Brings them together.
That's for
another
episode.
Right. So we got the Patriots. If I enter into the kNOw Hype Zone, my pick would be the Patriots. I'd say maybe win by 3 or 6. I don't know, what is the line now? 2.5?
It's 3.
Is it 3
and
now?
They always win by 3.
Yes.
Every Super Bowl is by 3.
It's by 8 points or less, I
Every
heard.
Super Bowl. It's always so close.
Yep. But my out of the hype zone, if I'm not in the no hype zone, Rams. Okay. Please, let's bring it together, man. Let's do this.
I can't see an LA team be there in 2 years and get a Super Bowl. Come on, man.
So my thing to answer your question is, first of all, I thought the Rams was gonna make some noise.
Okay.
I'm not a Rams fan, but they did help me win the fantasy football league I was in.
There you go.
Golf, I was upset when Cooper Kupp went down.
Heard a lot of people in the fantasy leagues.
Yeah, and then when I looked at but to be honest, the offense is so innovative that, you've seen a lot of different teams picking up their offense, such like University of Utah. They was running the same offense that LA Rams, so you kind of knew that, that offense was going to catch a lot of teams by surprise. Again, not to be in the hype, you can't go against Brady. You can't go against Brady. You just said a good point. They always win by 3 to 8 point Super Bowl. You want to know why? Because Brady shows up with the last 2 minutes in the game, and he finds a way to get the team either in field goal position or they make some type of awesome play to win it, and then it becomes legendary for the history of New England Patriots. So to answer your question, I gotta go with the Patriots being out of the hype. In the hype, I wouldn't mind seeing the Rams go ahead and start that new dynasty going there.
I think the hiccup happened last year. Brady fingertips misses that catch. They're winning another Super Bowl. Like, that's it. End of story. That's how much it takes between winning and losing.
It's a game of inches.
Can't go away from Brady until that dude retires and Belichick walks away and they quit their cheating. Where they did their video.
He's been cheating.
Hey,
he's got him on a cheat. Okay, all right.
So you got to wear tinfoil because you've been talking about this conspiracy stuff. So
I'm not a conspiracy
look,
guy.
They got him on this.
Tinfoil.
Look, it's like this. It's almost like the Al Capone thing. They got him on tax evasion. They knew Brady and Belichick and those guys were cheating for years. Well, we get you on some deflated balls, take your 4-game suspension, and be on your way. It's just like Al Capone. They got him with tax evasion. We know you killed all those people, but we're gonna get you for tax evasion. We know you cheated all them years.
Yeah.
We're gonna get you for deflated footballs.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Well, I guess it might catch up to them. Who knows? I mean, I don't want to do too much breakdown of the game, but I mean, Brady and their offense, like, they adapt so well. What usually happens, funny stat, in all their Super Bowls, they only have 3 points in the first quarter total. That's it. So I feel like they do what they have to do. They make great adjustments at halftime. Bill Belichick and that coaching staff, no matter who it is, doesn't matter who they have playing in there, you know. How many years? So I know Tom Brady and Belichick are the same, but every year I feel like it's always somebody different. New running back, new set of receivers, new offensive line, new somebody, you know. They always find a way to win. So unfortunately, I got to go with, I mean, I bet the mortgage on my house on the Patriots, but as a fan, from a fan standpoint, come on, Rams, we got the young Rams coming in. McVay. Well, Gurley might be hurt. He's been hurt a lot. You know, he only had he had like 10 rushes for 4 yards.
Yeah. He's injured. There's something up with that ham. CJ Anderson wouldn't be getting the ball if Todd Gurley was healthy.
But CJ Anderson, he's not Gurley, but he's a good replacement. But everybody know a hamstring takes a little bit more time, about 5-6 months to
this is a regular season game. He's not playing.
He's not playing.
Yeah.
I totally agree with you.
You got to use him as a decoy, though. Even if you can't get the ball, you got to use him.
But you said something about New England is always able to punch in people, and I know that Belichick has experience. He went with Garoppolo for a little bit, and he went with a few other quarterbacks. Castle, and they still won.
11-5 with Castle. I said this in week 1.
I'm gonna kill the noise. You cannot do what you're doing. You can't do what you're doing if you didn't have Brady in that position. As much as people want to write off and say, okay, Belichick could win it without Brady. Belichick couldn't win it without Brady.
We don't know that.
I believe it.
I think what we sort of do.
I'm in the hype.
We sort of do because he didn't win it with Castle.
They did,
but
go 11-5
I think it's
that
this.
Year. Yeah.
Belichick knows that in his system, if he gets the right guys to believe in it and execute that system,
I agree.
He can win.
Yep.
And so I think with Brady, he helps because Brady's the ultimate up here. But if he gets somebody that is just as
cerebral
as him, he's going to do even better. I think it's Amendola, you get hurt, we can plug in Welker. Welker, you get hurt, we can plug in Edelman. You get hurt. If you fit the scheme in the system and you play it right, you stay. Chad Ochocinco, one of the best receivers of our generation. Great feet.
Yeah.
Couldn't get the playbook, couldn't run the routes on time and crisp, wasn't there, couldn't be there, they let him go.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's why. Because you have to be able to fit that scheme, and it's about the 53, not about the name on the back.
Exactly. But with that being said, like I said, you can, those other positions, not bringing them down or saying that they're less than the quarterback, but to have Brady in that position, or have a Brady-type player like that, a Castle, a Garoppolo, they're good. But again, I haven't seen a player as consistent as Brady, cool, calm, under pressure, since Joe Montana. So that is my,
I hear you. But if you give Belichick a top 10 quarterback, he's going to do what he's doing now.
Okay.
Where look at all these other coaches. Andy Reid, top 10 quarterback. It's Andy Reid season. Can't make it there.
Yeah.
Mike McCarthy, one Super Bowl in 15 years.
Yeah.
The top 5 quarterback, right?
Yeah.
Andrew Luck, Ben Roethlisberger. These guys are top 10 quarterbacks.
Yeah.
You give any of those guys to Belichick,
right.
It's a wrap.
So it's like a rap group to me. To me, the Belichick Brady is. I'm an old school rap guy, so EPMD. EPMD break up.
Okay.
Eric Sherman go out and go do his thing. I love Eric Sherman. Paris, his music was garbage. But when EPMD came together, they was nice. It was magic. And the same thing with Belichick and Brady. If Belichick and Brady, I know as great as Belichick is, like you said, you named off all the coaches that have great football minds, and they had good coaches, but they wasn't able to win it. If I still say that Belichick is not the Belichick that we're talking about now, if Brady was not in that timeline, he would not have had the blueprint to be able to coach a Castle or a Garoppolo. He needed a Brady to say this is how it was done.
That elitist and being able to show that Brady gets beat on just like everybody else.
Yeah.
So when you come in and number 12 is getting lambasted for something he did, just like Pop with Tim Duncan. He's yelling at Tim Duncan because he's not going to yell at him.
That's the best.
He's yelling at you, yelling at him.
Awesome.
You're able to get that in, and to me that works because then it's you're going to do it the Patriot way, or you're going to see the highway out the back.
Yeah.
I'm going to concede a little bit because all my friends and fans know that I'm a huge Peyton Manning guy. I think he's the best, but I've now conceded. Tom Brady, you're number 1. I understand. I'm going to go as far. I'm going to say Belichick gets like 60% of it, and Brady gets like 40%.
I can agree with you on that. I go 60-40.
Yes.
Because he was
I'm
on his way with Bledsoe.
51-49.
He was on his way with Bledsoe.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool.
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
People
But he was
forget
on his
that.
way with Bledsoe. He was on his way.
Yep.
And if Cleveland didn't leave in 95, he doesn't leave. They were in the playoffs. They played the Patriots. He had his opportunity. They were on their way. It's just like you said, it's a game of inches. One person makes a decision this way, and the whole landscape of the NFL history has changed because Belichick decided to go to New England and not stay with the Jets, or Cleveland didn't stay in Cleveland, and he would have never left.
Yep. So we've touched on the Patriots. Now we want to give equal time for everybody. So the Rams. I know the newest thing is McVay's a young coach. People are trying to simulate that or emulate that. Even here in Arizona, we have a young coach in Cliff Kingsbury. And so now that
Don't believe the hype.
so now the blueprint.
Oh, you just upset because USC, he did you guys wrong for 4 months.
I'm just saying, Arizona, listen, the Cardinals, I don't know, Arizona sports, y'all got to act like y'all really want to win something before I get ready to say, yes, Arizona sports, the owners, we get a good thing going, and then they pull the bottom out on you. So, I remember the Super Bowl back in, 2008. That's when I first moved out here.
Super Bowl 43.
I was bragging to my friends and people back in Chicago, oh, the Cardinals are about to go. And the very next year, it's like ownership got rid of everybody. You got rid of, what's the guy named Bolden? That was a perfect wide receiver combination. You got rid of I think Docky got hurt, but you had a good defense, you had a good offense. The Arizona teams, you look at what the Suns are doing, they're not committed to winning. And hey, I didn't mean to go off on a tangent, but that's the truth.
Yeah,
it's just hard for me. I'm coming from Chicago and seeing the owners not be into just winning. They always want to say wait till next year. It's hard for me to still deal with that same type of mentality here. I have an LA fetish because LA would do what it takes to win. I'm not a Yankee fan, but the Yankees would do what it takes to win. So if an owner wants to do everything and put the right pieces in place, like my Dodgers who try to do everything to win, and then next thing you know, they always the bridesmaid. But the thing is that you got to respect them for going out there trying to get the players.
Absolutely.
And that's my problem with
Well,
Arizona.
speaking of going to get the players, that's like the new model they're saying.
The Rams have done.
Yes. Philly did it last year with all their free agent guys. The Rams did this year. They got Donald. They re-signed him. They picked up Ndamukong Suh. They got
Talib, Marcus Peters,
Robert Woods, all those guys, all free agents. So now you got a young head coach and all these free agents. And if they win this game, which no one's really kind of talking about, is that the new blueprint? Is that the new future of the NFL? Hey, get a young coach who only does the offense. Have your defensive coordinator just worry about the defense. That's how the Rams are running the show.
That's what's going to happen.
That's
the next.
Is that the next
7 or 8
wave?
teams. The next 7 or 8 teams that hire head coaches starting this year. Look at the Browns. Freddie Kitchens isn't old, but he's a young-minded offensive guy. Okay. They go and get a Steve Wilkes, who was just here. They go and get him to run the D. You take care of that. I'll take care of this. Mm-hmm. Same thing with the Rams with good old boy son of bum Wade Phillips. I love it. But again, Wade Phillips, great defensive coordinator, not a great head coach. He's going to scheme against Belichick and McDaniels. And at the end of the day, I think he comes up short just because his daddy never won one. He never won one. I got to go with the lineage. They're not going to get it.
Yeah. If the Rams win, is this like we said, the new NFL for the future? Does that put a ding on Brady's legacy, as some people think? I don't think it does.
No,
I don't think it does at all.
How can you go? Let's say they lose and he's won 5 and lost 4 and been to 9. How is that? And I know you're a Montana guy, but how is that not better than being 4-0 or 5-0? He went to 9.
Yeah,
went to 9.
We're talking 18 years in the league. He's gone to 9 Super Bowls every other 50%.
Yeah.
that's a LeBron type.
Let me give y'all a message.
In all these finals.
These guys are LeBron guys, so let me kind of let you know that's a prep to kind of let you know that if you go to the finals or the championship a lot of times in a row, that means that you up here. I'm just kind of giving you guys.
We'll get into that in the offseason.
Just let you know, but you know what? I don't think his legacy will be tarnished if he loses. Actually, I'm hoping that they lose because I want to see Brady come in so focused next year, even though he be 42 years old. Belichick come in with he's out of his comfort zone. I want to see that Patriots team. I want to see if Gronk is going to actually retire and decide to come back and stop playing around in the offseason so he can get healthy and play a full season. Now, I want to see the Patriots with their backs against the wall. And I think that's going to happen if they lose to the Rams. But I don't think that that's going to do anything to tarnish the legacy of Belichick or Brady.
Belichick's already said he's coming back next year. That's a done deal. So if Brady
Brady's
and
coming
Gronk
back.
want to go or go their separate ways, they're coming back. But I think ultimately, this is what Brady wants.
Yeah,
7.
Going for
I
7.
believe-
He goes 6. Everybody says 6. Michael Jordan 6.
That's what Mike got up on the
Six.
podium.
I remember that.
But I think he wants to be able to go like this. He wants to be able to throw the
old
7
days. I
out
remember
there.
that.
He wants to be able to throw the 7 out.
Yeah, that'd be good. Yeah, that put him as the go-to-goats. He's trying to be the go-to-goats.
Yep.
You know?
Score.
Ooh. Rams, I gotta say Rams, at least 28. New England 32.
30.
That's really off the cuff.
31,
That's off the
31,
cuff.
32.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Score.
38-31 Patriots.
Yeah, I'm gonna go high scoring too. I got like a 35 to 30, 31 in there. Patriots. No hype zone.
And I know you guys are
Patriots.
not betters, but basically anybody that's out there that's a better, take all the overs for the Patriots.
All
The
day.
points, the yards, the time of possession, take it all. Because they're going to scheme. He's gotten 2 weeks to fulfill, to look at this team. It's a wrap.
But the Patriots have spent this whole week trying to nitpick and trying to hype up this Super Bowl. That's not like the Patriots. And when the Patriots did that last time, when they was against the Giants, they lost against the Giants. Anytime the Patriots do not do things the Patriot way, they fall short. So, I mean, although we throwing out these scores right now, you got to think about what's been going on all week. Brady
a
doesn't normally
9-6
talk.
game.
He doesn't normally talk trash.
right.
Now, Michael
Right.
Jordan and all the greats, they find something to get them hyped up. But the way that they're going about talking trash, Patrick Chung talking trash, Belichick is not smacking anybody on the wrist. I mean, the Patriots are not.
Yeah, but he did that last year and he held a dude out that could have helped him win the game.
Talk about that.
So
I
that
really wasn't
was
going
was
to
not
that.
a football move. That was a personnel decision, and his ego got too big. I think Belichick actually learned my ego got in the way and cost us a Super Bowl.
Lego my ego.
Can't
Lego
have
my
that
ego.
happen. Can't have that happen.
I got you.
And right now, how are they staying motivated? You're too old.
Yeah.
You can't do this.
that was
You're
it.
too old.
Yeah.
I would get sick of hearing that.
I think Brady has a chip on his shoulder because how many times have they said in the media, right? ESPN, Max Kellerman called him out, I think. Other guys have called him out. Hey, you're too old, you can't do it.
Yep.
Brady's like, I'm here. 0% chance I'm retiring next year. I think that he uses that. Does he have another big moment at the end where he has to come from behind at the end?
That's the Patriot way.
Does he have to be clutch at the end? Speaking of clutch,
Brady time.
I think we did talk about the show this week, our top 5 clutch moments. So, want to run into that? If we're going to give our top 5,
yeah.
if you have any top 5 too, write them in the comments in our YouTube channel here. But otherwise, Lance, you want to start?
All right,
James,
I'll go
want to start?
first.
James,
So
can you give us his
I know
top
it's a
5?
no hype zone, but being a Cleveland fan,
You can be out of the hype zone
I
for a
have,
second.
but
Cleveland
I
and
think these are
Chicago in the same
warranted.
spot. That's-
These are warranted. Kyrie Irving, Game 7, jumper to basically seal a championship against Steph Curry and the great Golden State Warriors.
Wait, how did he get there? How was he able to shoot that shot? Blocked by LeBron. Everyone's like, oh, LeBron, you're not clutch. The block by LeBron.
You're taking parts of my top 5.
Okay, sorry.
Because that's in
Sorry.
there.
Okay, jumping
Well,
on there.
no, we'll just
Jumping
bring that
on.
one up right now.
Okay.
So yes, the
From Chicago,
LeBron,
these
the
Ohio
block,
dudes, this is-
the block,
Never talked about.
blocked by James. I mean, it's gonna live in infamy.
Yeah.
I would even throw in the Kevin Love defense on Steph Curry at the end of the game to stop him from beating us. How many times does Steph Curry just step back from 40 feet, game winner? All the time, right? You've got a stat for that later, I believe.
I do.
So those are the top 3. Now to get out of the Cleveland things, okay? I'm gonna go Mike. As much as I hate it, that shot on Elo started it all.
Yeah.
Started it all.
Yeah.
I mean, we were on our way.
was
That
88,
started it all.
right?
That started it all.
87,
He was a killer before that, but when he hit that, he knew it was over. Once he gets to the finals and plays them old bums, those Lakers, Portland didn't matter. It was over. It was over. And then number 1 for me, 2010, Copper Basin YMCA. I made dudes go home. I made dudes go home. They put me with 4 7th graders.
you a man to
made
my
me,
own heart.
made
That's
me
how I
go.
talk, man.
Made
You
me
know.
play with 4 7th graders. 4 7th graders. They were like, we're just gonna take the ball. It was keepers. I bucketed. He took his ball and went home. And I got witnesses. This isn't some play guy. I got witnesses that are still alive that can testify. to
Okay,
this. So that's
now
my
you
top
gonna
5.
make me dig deep.
Wow.
Now, I get,
Holy cow.
All right, that is awesome.
You're saying you're clutch.
Oh yeah.
James is clutch. Okay, I like it.
All right, so my clutch, of course, is 89 when Jordan hit that shot over Elo. versus Cleveland. I remember I was over at my buddy Casey's house. It was '89. We was just singing. We was listening to De La Soul, Potholes in My Lawn, and that was during that whole time. And Jordan hit that shot, and that started, to me, that allowed the Bulls to that legacy of them going further in the playoffs. Because after that point, we was just having trouble with New York, and then we had trouble, not with New York, but Detroit. We couldn't get past Detroit. But once we got past Detroit, game was over. But it all started with that shot. For some reason, Jordan just loved the tattoo, ELO, tattoo Cleveland. I'm not, because y'all from Cleveland or from Ohio, I don't want to say what my father used to call Ohio. You know, it starts with a mistake.
Mistake on the lake.
I'm not gonna say that.
We were the mistake on the lake for a long time, but it's a new day, bro.
I'm just gonna say that, you know, Cleveland, Chicago, you know,
Similar.
Yeah, you know. All right, and then of course, again, I'm in the hype. Jordan, Byron Russell, pop, hit him with a, you know, legacy shot. Game when I had the poster, I got a chance to see all the people in Utah.
But I thought he pushed off.
He didn't. I said that last week. This week, that was the clutch shot.
Okay.
He had his hands on all the people in Utah. It was actually a picture of a guy in Utah doing like this the moment that Jordan pulled up for the jump shot. I got a chance to look at everybody's faces in the crowd. They knew it was coming. When Jordan got the ball with 2 seconds left, it's a wrap. It's a wrap. Going from there, get off the Jordan tip, we're going to go ahead and go with Derek Jeter in 2001. Come up to bat, hits, I believe he hit a base hit. Next thing you know, the Yankees end up winning the championship right then and there. You had Kirby Puckett back in, I believe, 91. The home run he hit. You know, Kirby Puckett was clutch during that time. Getting back to my roots basketball, Magic Johnson hitting the sky hook, what was that, 86 over Boston Celtics?
That was earlier than that. That was a rookie year. That was his rookie
84,
year.
85?
That was when they beat the Celtics. Rookie year, that sky hook.
Yeah,
You know?
Okay.
That was something else. And that Kirby Puckett home run, that was hit over the Atlanta Braves. Just kind of give you that insight. Another one of my favorite moments, Shaq and Kobe when they came back versus Portland. I think that was 2000, 2001. You know, it started with the Kobe alley-oop to Shaq, and Shaq going down the court like that.
Yep.
That comeback was beautiful. I was on a Carnival cruise line. I was talking trash to everybody on the track because I was a Kobe fan because Mike was fading in the dust, and everybody remember from the first show. I said it's Michael, Kobe, and Russell Westbrook. Those are my 3 Siths.
Those are your faves.
No, not
Siths.
faves. They Siths. You know, if you listen to Jedi, Star Wars,
you're the Sith Lords.
They Sith, they
Okay,
Sith Lords.
yeah,
They come
they
out
are.
of anywhere.
They are.
You can't understand them, and there's something about them. I ain't gonna go crazy like
There's
last
always
week.
one, there's 2, but you got 3, so who's the 4th?
It's coming. You got a lot. You got.
He could
actually
be born right now. He could be like 10 years old.
Yeah,
You don't know.
It could be.
Yeah.
You know, you got some guys. I don't think it's Zion. Zion he's nice. He's more like a LeBron guy to me. LeBron, he's in that lineage. I'll
take that.
Okay, and I know I'm going past the top 5, but I gotta talk about this one because this one hurt me really bad. USC lost to Vince Young's Texas Longhorns. My wife is a Texas A&M, so she does this gig 'em stuff all the time, and the Longhorns do that, and the Red Raiders, the Texas. She showed me all they little trash talk gang signs they do when you go to Texas schools out there. But yeah, that hurt me because I'm a USC guy, and that you know, Vince Young just pretty much ran down the field on us, and you know, it looked like Tom Brady in that moment. Still continuing on, you had Jordan hitting that freshman shot in 1982, kind of set the stage for him. Santonio Holmes making that catch against the Arizona Cardinals back in 2008.
1 foot.
1 foot on the line, just
Hit
you
1
know,
foot.
The pretty,
Not 2, it's 1
pretty,
foot.
pretty. That was pretty. And then last but not least, Kirk Gibson hitting the home run versus Oakland A's.
Yeah,
that was
yeah.
Down
beautiful.
holding the ribs.
That was beautiful.
was
Might be
A's
holding
fan.
his liver too.
Yeah,
he was a bit of a drinker.
He might have. And then, you know, I know this is not real sports, but you know, I watch a lot of movies, sports movies. I like the, you know, World Series, not World Series, but the Cleveland
Major League.
Major League, yeah, yeah.
With you know, when Wesley Snipes was on second base and the catcher Tom Berenger hit the ball and Wesley Snipes, he bunted the ball and Wesley Snipes was able to come all the way home. To me, that was a clutch moment. You know, even though it wasn't real, it was clutch. And I don't like the Cleveland Indians. I'm not a Cleveland Indian fan, but I was rooting for Cleveland Indians and Bob Uecker. I still say just a bit outside from that movie.
Absolutely.
So those are my
Was it like
clutch
top
moments.
7?
That's our top
Holy
1,000. I'm a man. I bleed
I
clutch
got
moments.
ice in my veins.
That was top 10.
I
That was
believe
honorable mention. That was next man
listen,
up.
You cut me open. I got Jordan dunking. I'm bleeding Bo Jackson running down the field. Deion Sanders making the catch. Reggie Jackson hitting homers. My blood is all sports, man. I can't stop it. It's who I am.
I don't know if I can compare it to all the energy that these two are bringing us today. I'm gonna try to keep it simple. Number one, a lot of people don't remember this. Brandy Chastain,
Everybody's
the
doing
shootout.
this.
Yeah, she did a shootout victory for U.S. Women's. I believe that was '99, if I want to say. Joe Carter, '93 World Series, Game 7, Toronto. That was a huge clutch. Yep. Luis Gonzalez here from Arizona in 01.
Oh, that was huge. I thought about that one, yeah.
Yep, beating that one team from New York. I don't like to say their name. That was pretty awesome. Against Mariano Rivera, who, as we said last week, more people have landed on the moon than he has allowed runs in the playoffs, which is ridiculous.
That is ridiculous. Yeah. Did you see the video of him when they just re-showed it of him getting called off the field for the last time? And
and they get Jeter and Pettit.
And
it was
no, it wasn't Andy Pettit. It was it was Pettit. Yeah, you're right. And they just hugged. He embraced it. Looked like he just fell apart.
Yep.
You know, it was gonna be the last time. It's like
I got goosebumps from that too. Look at that.
It was an incredible scene, especially. And I'm not a Yankee fan, but it was incredible.
Yep. Jordan. I mean, Elo got the Elo shot. I mean, so many times Jordan has been clutch, and just being a kid growing up. I mean, there's countless times he's been clutch. I mean, that Elo one, obviously, that's his most famous one, I would say. But I mean, he's had more clutch moments and clutch passing as well, right? Didn't Paxton had a game-winning shot in the finals? So did Steve Kerr. So he passed it off to him.
Yep. Oh, that's one of my favorites of all time.
Tony?
Coach. Oh yeah.
He's good, but you remember in '92 when Jordan and Pippen pulled out steak knives and the fork and they sliced him up
in the Olympics.
Really
in the Olympics, well, that was because that was his boy. They were like, we're gonna teach him. He's like the new kid. Oh, you're his gem. We're gonna shut you down. Well, I guess, but guess what? They should have been able to shut him down. He was 19 at the time. Yeah. They should have been able to shut the young man down.
That's a good point. Okay, I feel.
But they broke him. They brought him in. They brought him in as one. He was, and then when Mike left, real quick. But when Mike left. And then Kukoc was there. Remember the famous thing? They wrote up a play for Kukoc and not Scotty. I'm not going in. Yeah. Scotty pouting. I'm not going in. I ain't getting the ball.
See, that's a Cleveland move. We're not going to talk about Scotty. We're not going to talk about Scotty. We're not going to.
Scotty.
I do too.
But I'm just saying, when he didn't go in, and then Kukoc hit the shot anyways.
Yeah, that's true.
So.
Last one, golf. Tiger Woods, how many times has he had a clutch putt to win titles of some sort?
What was the most, to you, when you close your eyes, you go, most clutch Tiger moment of all time, what is it?
One where he seemed like that. Whichever one that was.
Which one? I was like, there's a lot of those.
The Masters.
Is it the one with the Nike ball where it stops and it just barely turns and then drops?
Yeah.
That's the one.
Yeah, where he's like walks up to the cup.
I think that might have been the Masters. Yeah. That was the Masters.
Okay. Yeah.
And just to go on the boxing tip, I think I was telling you guys earlier, when Muhammad Ali or Cassius Clay at the time was talking trash to Sonny Liston, I wasn't born to see it, but I love that poster. I have a poster with
standing on top of
him. That's one of my favorite, and that does something for me. Just let me know to go out on my day, and this is any adversity I'm dealing with the same way Cassius Clay took over that fight.
So those are our clutch moments. If you have any clutch moments, let us know. Tell us in the comment section of this video. Okay, anything else you guys want to add at home? Any other comments about the NFL or the Super Bowl? What you think? Go ahead and put those on our comments. Otherwise, let's move on to the NBA, unless there's anything else you guys want to add.
No, I think we're good. I think we covered the Super Bowl pretty well.
I think we did. So let's go on to the NBA, which is funny because we were prepping for the show. We were like, hey, no one's talking about the games. It's all about the drama.
Yeah.
This week in the NBA has been so filled with drama, whether it be Kyrie. Last week I gave Kyrie praise, right? I said, hey, Kyrie, good job for, being a little bit humble. And then now this week, when we hear word of, Anthony Davis might go to the Celtics after, because he can't go right now, right, to the trade deadline. He has to wait until at least the summer. Now he's like, oh, if I'm not the alpha, I don't want to be there. Talk to me about the trade, or talk to me about where I want to go come July 1st. We have that drama. Anthony Davis, where's he going to go?
Is LeBron still LeBron?
Right.
Is Boogie going to stay in Golden State?
How great is Russell Westbrook right
is
now?
Kawhi going to stay north of the border?
Paul George. Kawhi's not going to stay Boy, yeah, we got a lot of stuff to talk about.
Right, a lot of drama, but let's talk about other things like, I know last week we touched on the players to watch who no one knows about. I'm going to say D'Angelo Russell from the Brooklyn Nets. When he was with LA, all we heard was about, D'Angelo, rookie, so good, I got ice in my veins, all that stuff. He really wasn't that good. They got rid of him because of all the crap that went on with Swaggy P, Nick Young, whatever.
In itself, was a problem.
So then he goes to New Jersey. No one hears a lick about him. But guess what? He's leading, or this year he has the most points in his career, the most assists in his career, the highest field goal percentage in his career, but no one's talking about that. Yeah. So D'Angelo Russell is my player that I want you guys to go out and watch and check out for the Brooklyn Nets. Another guy said last week, Bradley Beal. Do you guys realize that the Wizards are now, I think, 10-4 or 10-5?
Yeah, he's been putting on
without John Wall? Yeah. John Wall. How do you feel about that? What else? What else we have to do?
Joker. Denver. I'm talking about he made it to the playoffs.
Talked about him last week, yeah.
Made it to the All-Star game. He's nice. Like I said, if we didn't have VO going down, Oladipo going down, we'll be talking about him. I think we don't give enough credit to Damian Lillard and C.J. McCullough in Portland. They are players that you definitely need to give them some
I haven't heard anything about Portland this year, man.
And the guy from the big guy from the Magic, Orlando Magic, Vujacic or something.
Yeah.
He's a monster too. You got so many players. I'm thinking next week we need to have you guys send us a list. So we need to do the top 5 of players that nobody's talking about in the league.
I know, we've been talking about this for 3 weeks now. Yeah.
We need to do a top 5. But those are players that definitely need to be, get some shine because you kind of see the All-Star game this year, and they said a few players shouldn't have made the All-Star team.
That's every year. Every year.
You always get snubs every year, but it's one of those things. And the NBA is beautiful how the NBA dominated the headlines. This is supposed to be Super Bowl week. We spent the whole week talking to NBA. I was getting trolled by this guy all while I'm up here trying to train left and right about everything from Russell Westbrook to why does Anthony Davis have to go to the Lakers and whatever else he could say to kind of get up under my skin. But it's been one of those
get under
weeks.
your skin, man. I like to give you topics and so we can discuss interesting topics.
It's easy.
Especially if you want to get under his skin, talk Russell Westbrook.
See, he's under my skin right now. See, that's
but wait, I'll give you props. He did send me the stat line last week.
That's right.
He shot
last
night.
Yes, sir.
He shot 60%. Only took like 13 shots.
Only shot 1 3-pointer.
1 3-pointer. He missed it.
He needs to do more of that.
He's been doing it. He's been doing it. We on a 6-game win streak. I got my brother-in-law. He's a Thunder fan, but he's been spending all his time being anti-Russell. He sends me so much crap about Russell Westbrook, and I'm hoping now he finally appreciates that Russell can adapt to the situation. Russell's been hurt. Russell had kids.
A lot of players have kids, though.
A lot of players, but not in the middle of the season when you have a knee injury.
Life happens, and nobody realizes that. And that's for you people that are gamblers out there. Those are the things you look for.
We did talk
about
that last
week. What did this guy
do?
What happened? Who's he been with? What kind of dramas he have? With what happened with the Cavaliers, not to go back to that stuff, but with Tristan Brown and the Kardashians, LeBron called them, that crew, the show.
Yeah.
Because when those came in, it was a camera crew, it was a whole mess. That's a distraction.
Yes, it is.
And you can't have that. You can't have that in professional sports if you're trying to win a championship.
Yep, sir. I agree. Totally agree. So with that being said, you're right. You got to see what causes people to go up and go down. It's not just the game itself. Plus, like I said, Russell had to adapt. Now you got Paul George. Paul George is a bona fide superstar, MVP caliber type player. You got to dumb down your game. You've been asked to carry the team on your shoulders now. You have to adjust, and he's making those adjustments. With making those adjustments, the game, that twitch that he normally has to shoot, it's not always, it's not a good decision. So he's now finally let it all come together. But not to stay on the OKC.
But I would say that's his second game doing that. The second stat sheet that you showed me where his PER or his player efficiency rating was actually up because of how little shots he took.
Yep.
And actually more than 50% of them went in, which is great. Mm-hmm. Like, you need to do that, Westbrook. Like, that is your job. Let Paul George do the shooting. Let him take the volume of shots. You just sit back, distribute, make plays happen. You don't have to shoot all the time, bro. Like, that's not your forte.
His best part of his game is drive to the basket. Who's stopping him? He's
Nobody,
the most
nobody.
angry.
Yeah.
Tasmanian devil.
Yep,
Yeah.
he is. He's the most, like back in the early days when Mike would attack the rim, like the rim stole his lunch money.
Yeah.
That's what Russell does. But Russell's like, you said something about my mama. Like, 'cause
Right.
he's coming to the paint hard.
But I want to bounce off that because back in the day, Mike, like you said, would score 38 points a game, take it to the cup all the time. But then Phil Jackson was like, hey, do you want to win scoring titles or do you want to win
That's exactly
NBA
right.
titles?
That's exactly right.
Westbrook, when is somebody going to reel you in and be like, hey, do you want all these triple doubles and all that and yet be bounced in the first round of the playoffs? Or listen to what I got to say, run the system, do your job, do what you do well at, which is passing, distributing, and making plays happen. Let your other guys shoot, you know?
So
Ultimately, that's gonna take a coach that I don't even think we know of that he ultimately respects because and like a lot of them, like you said with Kyrie, when he was with LeBron in Cleveland, he thought he was just as good as LeBron or better, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same thing here. Russell's not gonna listen to somebody. He's not gonna listen to Scotty Brooks. Oh, Scotty Brooks had 20 assists in an NBA game. That's amazing, but he's Scotty Brooks.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Who's the guy that's their coach now?
You got Billy Donovan.
Billy Donovan. Won some stuff in Florida, but that was 20 years ago.
Right. Well, the
You know what I'm
thing,
saying? Like, I think it's going to take a coach that he ultimately respects, that either, like not Bill Russell coming back, but somebody that's like that fills up a room for
Or
him
someone
to
who's not
ultimately
afraid to
yes.
say, hey, Russell,
Right.
like, do it this way.
Right,
You know?
and
He
I
doesn't
say this
give.
all the time at the barbershop.
Yeah.
Great,
Single.
great players want to be in a great system. Russell Westbrook is a product of that. The thing about the difference between Russell and LeBron is the system.
Yes.
LeBron is a coach, a GM, president. He knows he's like when we was listening to Tony Romo call out
Yep.
the AFC Championship game.
Big man, it was
that's
awesome.
that's
that runs. It's him.
that's
his
that's
system.
LeBron. LeBron he's so cerebral with his game that he's a system. Westbrook is not that dude, but Westbrook is a great player. And just speaking to your point, that's exactly what happened. When Doug Collins stopped being Michael Jordan's biggest cheerleader and Phil Jackson was inserted, people was like, wait a minute, what's going on? But he told Michael, you have to pass the ball, and if you want to win a championship, you have to get the ball to Scotty and get the ball to Horace.
triangle offense.
And you're going to have to feed Cartwright, even though he didn't want to feed Cartwright. You're
Did
going to
he
have
punch
to,
him out?
Yeah,
Did he punch Cartwright
Mike,
out?
Mike had that thing.
Mike told Cartwright, if you touch the ball, you won't be in the league next
He's
year.
done a lot of
He was
things,
like, because
but-
the play was
Wow.
to go to him out of bounds. He goes, you touch that ball, you won't be in the league
It's-
next year, and you know I will make it happen.
Well, it says that, he who lives in the glass house, or if you throw the first stone.
Right.
Michael has his problems. Westbrook
Mike's got
has his
bulletproof
problems.
glass.
Yeah,
There's a
true.
big difference.
True.
Yeah.
But the
Right.
thing is, you need to be in the system. And what you're seeing now, you're seeing Billy Donovan, like you said. At first, he looked like he couldn't talk with him or work with him. Now he looks like he has the respect
Okay.
of Billy, and he's playing. You can see the adjustments in his game. It's not easy, but you're telling a lion to sit back and be a trail horse in
Right.
so many words. Don't get out there and roam the jungle. I need you to fall in line when you used to being free to do.
And
whatever
when
you
it's
wanna do.
time to strike, you strike. And
sh-
that's why we'll
that's
win
perfect
more.
words. Perfect.
Right on. I do want to touch on something, Steph Curry. We all know he's a great player. He did something on Sunday that I have a little bit of a problem with. Like, I hate being negative, right? Because we don't want to talk about the positive side of sports. I understand that. But in the Celtics game on Sunday, he took a shot, a three-point shot. Before it went in, he did a little, shimmy
yeah,
or
yeah,
whatever. And oh, how cute Steph Curry does a shimmy. Israel Gutierrez, I think his name is, interviewed Katie after the game, was like laughing about it. Oh, hey, what do you think about, Steph Curry's little shimmy? Oh, that's so funny and cute. If LeBron were to do that, or if Russell Westbrook were to do that, or if anybody else were to do that, the media would kill them. But because Steph Curry does it, oh, it's so cute.
Bro, he's the first family of the NBA. Him, his wife, and his kids are the first family. They got the cooking shows. They're doing sit-downs with Obama. They're doing all these things. They're the first family of the NBA. And LeBron feels like that should be him and his. Why do you think that's another reason to go to LA? Oh, you're gonna do the little thing over here? I'm gonna make movies.
Right.
Oh, you're gonna be on HGTV? I'm gonna buy the channel.
Yep.
Like it's all about
agree,
just
I
it's
agree.
ego at this
I
point.
totally
These guys are
agree.
so elite.
It's David and Goliath.
Yes.
It's
But
the
why does-
story of David and Goliath.
Why does Steph get away with this stuff, though?
Because
What I-
Steph
what I
is
wanna know.
David and LeBron is
It's
Goliath.
because Steph
so
is
unfair.
your height.
Yeah.
True.
If
He's
Steph,
very
let's be
relatable.
honest,
He's
if
relatable.
Steph
I
was
understand that.
this tall,
Yeah.
Right.
a little bit meaner looking,
Yeah.
and wasn't so like he's got that personality, people would treat him like Boogie Cousins.
Yeah, he doesn't have too much drama. You don't hear a lot of crap. Like
His
LeBron
dad
is
was a
hated
good
by.
player. His dad was a nice player,
Yeah.
so he carries
Yeah.
that cachet.
Yeah, and I mean, and like you say, he's every man's. You can relate with
He's
him.
relatable.
You're relatable.
Very relatable,
Well,
I understand.
LeBron,
But he's
has
ruining the
energy.
NBA with all these kids now thinking they got to shoot 30-foot jump shots.
Yeah.
8-year-olds coming down across half court.
Well, see, that's the
Not
thing.
my jump shot for him. That's the right-handed.
Because that jump
that's
shot,
what they do.
That had no beef
That was
in
no-
it whatsoever.
no.
Balance eye, elbow, follow through. That wasn't beef. So, but the thing, but the thing is, LeBron is that type of player where he like you say, he's rubbed so many people the wrong way because of the decisions that he's made, or just being so great and so dominant.
Teams he's put together.
That if he did a shimmy, people gonna blow it out of proportion. Russell the same. People don't like the way Russell dresses and he walks through before the game.
His
So
fashion stuff,
because of the fashion stuff, you hate his. I know people that hate his game basically
Because of
because
that.
of his fashion.
Yeah.
So you know the game evolves, and you were talking about Steph got everybody shooting 30-foot jump shots. The thing is this: nothing stays the same. It's one thing that we always know that it's going to be changed.
Yeah.
So what they need to do is they need to figure out different ways to either make the game a little bit more competitive. Maybe include a 4-point shot, maybe include higher rims, whatever it takes. I'm not saying this.
Right, you're just giving
but,
examples.
But I'm just
right?
giving examples. And then, to touch on what you were saying earlier, Anthony Davis, I don't know how do you feel about this Anthony Davis move?
Great question. I'm all for player mobility, but to say, hey, I want to be traded in the middle of the season, you tell your teammates that, or was that Rich Paul that said it to his to the organization?
Yep.
Anthony Davis, you go ahead and take control of your future because you'll have this much time to play in the NBA and in the grand scheme of your life. I understand that. He's all about legacies, but why does he have to go to the Lakers? Why can't he go to like Milwaukee? Why can't he go to like Atlanta? Why does it got to be LA? Why is all this hub or this hype about LA?
Because he's walking away from $80 million. He's got to make that.
240, right?
He's got to make that up somewhere. I can make that up in LA with commercials, TV spots, and the mega shoe deal I'm gonna get versus the shoe deal. Now, like with LeBron, it didn't matter if he was in Cleveland. It didn't matter because it's global now. It doesn't really matter. He didn't have to be in LA.
Right.
But for some of these guys, you actually have to be. He doesn't
Yes.
matter. He's the anomaly. He can go wherever he wants, and it's gonna draw whatever draws. Anthony Davis isn't that guy.
Right. I remember when LeBron was in Cleveland, ESPN would be doing SportsCenter from Cleveland.
Yeah.
Now, ESPN doesn't talk anything about Cleveland now that LeBron left, so I understand that. And yes, I call this the Carmelo Anthony effect. Carmelo chased the money in the NBA, but if you win titles, your residual income off of that is going to last so much longer than trying to, hey, let me max out my deal in New York, not be able to pay money for anybody else, and then try to be the guy, and then essentially you're not. So I hope that Anthony Davis can find the right spot. If he ends up in LA with the Lakers, good for him.
I still don't think they win. I still don't think they win with that, just because you're gonna have to give up so much.
True.
To make this happen.
Did you see
that
who
you're still gonna be no hype zone?
Offered? Yeah.
No hype zone. But I've obviously being a Cavs fan, saw LeBron come back, and reshape the roster in his image, and that image is garbage. He does it all the time. He can drag subpar talent to the finals.
Yeah.
That's what makes him so great, though.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
But that's not going to win you the championship.
Yeah.
He can drag these awful teams to the finals in the East, which is going to make it funny this year when the East may end up winning the whole thing, and he left the East to go to the West, and then they end up winning the year he leaves. Not the Cavs, but somebody out of the East.
I agree because the West is so competitive right now, and you got Giannis and you got Kawhi and Kyrie, pretty much the Giants over there in the East right now, and their teams are loaded. And pretty much from what I seen 2 weeks ago when Boston played Golden State, Boston is on the cusp of being able to beat Golden State. That's maybe taboo to say Golden State can lose, but I honestly believe
76ers just beat Golden State in Golden
So
State.
that's what I'm saying.
With
Like,
everybody healthy.
So the East
everybody healthy.
right,
Boogie Cousins debut.
Yeah, so the East is definitely coming back. The East is making some noise, and who knows that if the Lakers go up against Golden State or OKC go up against Golden State or one of these teams, Denver, these type of teams can pull down that energy from Golden State, who may have coasted through the Western Conference Finals last year. This year, that attrition is gonna kick in, and then next thing you know, you get up against a big Giannis, or you get up against a Kyrie that's totally motivated to prove a point, or Kawhi who's like, this is my last hurrah, I'm gonna do this in Toronto and then I'm out. You know, you got a chance on. So you know, it's just one of those things where, you know, to be honest with you, it's anybody can win it.
And the Lakers made an offer to New Orleans. Kuzma, Lonzo, a draft pick, who else? Ingram,
Zubac,
yeah, basically gave up everybody, and New Orleans hasn't even given them a call back yet.
Well, they did. They called them. They made some contact with them.
They said it wasn't enough or
they
something.
They said it's not.
And what happened is they threw Jack Nicholson in there, but he had a heart attack, so they had to put him out of the draft. See, he failed the physical part.
Yeah.
That was a done deal right there.
Yeah, right.
Well, the thing is, they did call him back, and make a long story short, it was one of those things. Out of respect, we're gonna call you back. We still think you guys are tampering. We still know that LeBron's behind all of this.
Well, yeah.
But we're gonna call you back because it doesn't look professional. But we don't really want none of these guys. And let's be honest, it benefits New Orleans as a franchise to deal with Boston. It doesn't benefit them to deal with LA. If they take LA, that's only because they're going to deal with LA only because Anthony Davis is now saying, I want to play in LA, and the other teams know that, hey, if we get Anthony Davis, it's a good chance that we'll give up everybody, all of our valuables, and then next thing you know, this guy's going to leave anyway after 1 year. What would be the purpose of doing that? Yeah. So, you know, it's either LA or bust, and New Orleans got to figure out, hey, should we get some draft picks from LA? Should we just take their young talents?
You better get the farm, man, because if you're giving up your franchise player, you better ask for everything, man. You know, because I mean,
right,
AD's a top 5 player.
Boston is the right choice when it comes to that. If you're going through,
but then you're gonna make Kyrie happy.
Kyrie gonna leave anyways.
Kyrie is upset.
You guys think so?
I think Kyrie wasn't staying to begin.
I
think he was leaving regardless. I think it's one of the New York teams. It may not be the Knicks.
Hey,
okay.
Yeah, that's a good call too, because I got that feeling too. Especially after yesterday and that performance he had in the Garden, and you know just what he said yesterday. You know this is what makes the NBA so great.
He's a New Jersey kid. He's a New Jersey kid. He's from that area. Now they could say, hey, let's go to LA, Clippers. Come on, Kawhi. Come on, Jimmy Butler, Kyrie. Let's go there. We'll go play for Jerry West. Yeah. Doc Rivers. Is he still the coach there?
Doc is still the coach. And Jerry West, the kingmaker.
Yep.
He's behind every franchise, every dynasty, from the Lakers to what went on. I think he helped consult Pat Riley when he was putting together the dynasty over in Miami. But Golden State, Jerry West is the blueprint of how you create a dynasty basketball squad.
Because he was with Charlotte when he made the trade for Kobe.
Okay.
Right? And then when he was in Memphis, he traded Marcus off Pau Gasol. He was always hooking the Lakers up, but ended up getting residual. Think about what they got back in return. They ended up getting some things. Okay. I mean, the Vlade Divac thing, man.
They sent him Sacramento.
That may not work out. But
yeah, right on. Right. What else we got in the NBA? And how are you doing on time right now?
Oh, right now, NBA. Real quick, you talk about D'Angelo Russell.
Yeah.
About, you know why he's just now showing up?
How come?
Because he was the best high school player on his team, so he got to do whatever he wanted. AAU, didn't get top. Went to Ohio State for 1 year.
Right.
Went to a dysfunctional Lakers team, got no training, no guidance, no nothing.
Yeah, you think like Kobe would help him out? Nope.
So that's why that's why these basketball players, you look back at the 80s and the 90s and these drafts that were so good. You're like, you know why? Because those guys had to play 3 or 4 years. And yeah, you got that elite 1 or 2 guys that can come straight out of high school and make it, but there's 15 of them that can't. Right. You know what I'm saying? So when you have that happening, there's going to be this logjam of bad basketball. That's why we have this. So now it's like, oh, the guy's been in the league 6 years. You're just not hearing about him? It's because it's taken that long for him to lose all the bad habits of the wannabe coaches, the dads that don't know nothing about basketball, but their kid's 6'6". We're just going to roll the ball out there. Y'all just are athletes. Figure it out. And that's why we got bad basketball. That's why we have bad basketball.
Yeah. I agree. They need better coaching. So you want to talk about high school sports, right?
Yeah. How are you doing on time?
Well, it's about time for that talk about these great high schools out here in Arizona.
Okay. Well, since we are out here in Chandler, Arizona, doing the show, well, first of all, we got a guy. Talk about your guy coming in next week.
We got to give a shout out to Gilbert High School. I was told that we named all the schools last week, and we didn't talk about Gilbert. So Coach Fred, he'll be on the show with us next week. Also want to give a shout out to the Fern Barbershop, Santana. You guys are doing great work over there.
Can't do nothing for us though.
Yeah. But it keeps me so fresh and so clean. So with all that being said, that we got Gilbert coming in next week, and Fred is great because he coaches track and field. He's a defensive coordinator, or I think he's a defensive coordinator with Gilbert. But we need to really start pumping up a lot of these teams because the football out here is good, and if
it's really good.
Really good.
A lot of the NFL, the quarterbacks and those guys, or the college guys, it's a hotbed for recruitment out here.
And speaking of recruits, so of the top 15 Arizona recruits for football, only one is staying in state.
That sounds about right.
There's an obscure stat. So ASU, U of A.
Get it together.
Get your stuff together.
Yeah.
Good Lord, Herm.
Yeah.
We play to win the game.
Hello. And well, speaking of ASU, so Chandler High School just lost their head football coach. ASU hired him as, I think, a running backs coach.
Okay.
So for a couple of weeks now, they've been trying to find a guy, and we have a couple guys in here that train with us from Chandler, and they were like, "Oh man, they got all these guys coming in to interview for the job. We hope that they can hire within." So they're kind of like skittish on what their future was. They finally hired a guy. Their offensive coordinator is now the head football coach at Chandler. So all the kids are happy about
Congrats.
that. Yep. So now. The AIA, which is the Arizona Athletic Department for football, have now, for next year, they're starting a new playoff system. So the top three divisions, 4A, 5A, and 6A, instead of having a separate champion for 4A, separate champion for 5A and 6A, they're now going to combine all together and have a playoff. At the end. It was 16 teams, right?
Yep.
16 teams at the very end of the season, and then of those 16,
they're going to take 8 of like the big best of those 16, put them almost in a separate playoff bracket, and that will be like the ultimate champion. So like WWE, you got your Universal Champion, you're going to get the belt, but you got all these other sub ones, that's what's going to happen. So that 16-team bracket, you're still going to have a 4A conference champ, a 5A conference champ, a 6A conference champ. Those, I'm assuming, if they're good enough to win those, they're probably part of that top 8. And then of those 8, who's the best? So to put all this to bed about who's better, and schools keeping enrollment down so they can stay in a division to tear them up. Blue Ridge, I'm talking to you. These things, this happens. But now with this expansion of kind of what college football wants to see happen, maybe not 16, but we're going to see it firsthand here to see if it works, and then you never know. They may implement that down the road.
That means Williamsville got a chance to play, Saguaro or Chandler?
Yeah, because Saguaro, I heard you guys are talking a little bit. So
yeah, Williamsville, that's
up.
my neighborhood school, so shouts out to Williamsville.
And there's high schools popping up everywhere.
Yeah.
Perry, who's a ball. They've been around 15 years maybe tops. Yeah. Like some of these schools just pop up. What was that, Castile High School out there? They just bang, 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 and they get these kids.
Castile got a quarterback.
Yes.
Boy, this boy is something else. I went to the game to go see Williamsville. This boy is sitting in the pocket like an NFL quarterback, and you was talking about Perry. I trained Peyton Day over there, and Dane, I forgot B-Dub's last name, but they got some young guys that was actually supposed to go to Campo, the quarterback and a running back. And next thing you know, these guys are tearing up there in Perry. But like you said, it's teams like Castile. Castile was a small school, and they sitting up there
nowhere
beating up the big boys. Coach Fred was talking about how Castile gave it to Gilbert a couple times, and I guess Gilbert is work in progress, coach. So let's get them together. Let's get Gilbert.
Well, that's hard because of boundary lines now, and that's something real quick that we can talk about. Because boundary lines make a big difference, right?
Sure.
So a lot of these schools have open enrollment, open boundaries. So basically, if you're really good, but you're going to Florence, sorry, Florence, but you going to Florence, another school district probably going to try to find your mom and dad a job closer in, or make it worth the while to get you up there to go to school, because you might have a better opportunity to go to college being in one of these bigger schools. But in Gilbert, they just laid down new lines that separate stuff. So these kids that were living in Val Vista Lakes that want to go to Highland High, you're not allowed to go there no more.
Wow.
Starting next year, you're going to Gilbert High School.
Wow.
They changed that. Now, Val Vista Lakes is closer to Gilbert High School, which I don't know why you live there to go there.
Right.
But the point is that they wanted their kids to go to the schools a little further away. And now with the guidelines, you ain't doing that.
Yeah, well, hey, that's good. I think that's good. Create parity.
Absolutely, because there's a lot of high schools in one school district. Gilbert's got 4 high schools or something like that in their school district, you know? Higley's this big. It's got 2 high schools.
Yeah.
It's this big.
Yeah. And Chandler, enough said.
Chandler Hamilton,
is the
Chandler,
top of the line.
Hamilton.
Hamilton, Chandler, beautiful. Beautiful schools. Basher.
right?
Basha High.
Basher. My son went to Basher. Shouts out to Basher.
And we're going to learn more about some high school football next week with your Gilbert guy,
Yeah,
Coach Fred.
Coach Fred. Coach Fred. He's gonna
Fred.
come in. We're gonna have to get a bigger stand. Coach Fred is a monster.
Big dude.
6'5". He lifts like 600 pounds, 500. No joke. He has his own Instagram page where he's talking about lifting. What I like about Coach Fred is that he has his program where he does called Drop the Bottle and raise the bar. You know, people who struggle with alcoholism.
Okay.
Drop the bottle, raise the bar, and he's motivating people left and right. So shouts out to you, Coach Fred. You're an inspiration. I got a chance to spot a couple of bench presses one time. I don't know why, because
How many
he'll lift up by 5.
No, how many helped spot? It was
No,
you.
it was
someone like
hey,
you.
You know, every
nobody
once in a
like
while,
me.
you know, I'm one of them dudes that's, I may look like Clark Kent, but every once in a while I turn to Superman here and there. I was able to help him on, the counting 1, 2, 3, okay, and then that was my spot. He did like 99.9% of the work. I had 0.001, but I was there, a part of the team. I felt like it was a collaboration. So anyway, he's a beast. He'll be here next week.
Right. Awesome. And then with our remaining time left, we got a few minutes left. Hockey, second half of the season. Last week was the NHL All-Star Game. We told you guys to watch that. Sidney Crosby, great job winning the MVP on that. Top teams in the league, Tampa Bay Lightning, our top team. They have 73 points, I believe. So they're leading by 10. They also have the most goals in the NHL. They lead that by 20, so they have 20 more goals than anybody else. On the West, Calgary is at the top. So the second half of the season coming, we'll see what happens in the NHL. I advise you guys to go watch a Tampa Bay Lightning game. Super fast, super fun, a ton of scores on there. If you want to be really entertained, go watch that. So that's all we'll touch on for the NHL.
Patrick
like the
Kane
next-
got
Oh yeah.
Yeah, because Patrick Kane got a chance
Patrick
to get
Kane.
at your Sabres last night. He got
I'm a
2
Sabres
goals.
fan.
Yes, sir.
Patrick Kane, I love you. You went to my high school in Buffalo, so St. Francis
Go
High
Chicago
School. I want to give you
Blackhawks.
guys a shout out. Patrick Kane has a 10-game point streak. He has 25 points in those 10 games, which is pretty outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
So I'll give you love for that.
Go Blackhawks.
This might be the longest hockey segment of any segment on YouTube, period.
Hey, that's
Good.
good. That's
Seriously,
good.
Seriously,
That's
that's
good.
good.
And
Bring
they
it back a little bit.
Yeah. So in the no hype zone. I'm sorry. I'm out of the no hype zone. Sabres, come on. We're in 9th place. We're in the wild card. We've got the second half of the season. Come on, baby. Let's do this. But someone go out there, or not someone, all you guys go out there, watch an NHL game. NBC Sports usually carries it. NBC the regular NBC channel carries it on Sundays. Please go watch. You're going to have a good time watching that.
Actually, I'm going over to Polar Ice now to go look at one of my clients' kids. His little shorty, little Easton. He's about to put on a game. He's 7 years old, but he be checking people left and
Yeah.
right. So I'm doing my part to support hockey. I'm gonna be freezing in Polar Ice, but
And in here, I train. I have 5 hockey clients, so it's always fun to hear about their games and whatnot. So I've seen a couple of their games; those are always fun.
Tough. Those
Yes.
guys are tough.
Yeah, very tough.
And gals that
Yep,
play hockey.
yep.
Tough people.
Yep. There was a girl in the All-Star game last week who participated. So
that's good.
kudos to her.
That's
That's great.
Good job, hockey.
Yep.
I think a long time ago they had a goalie that was a female.
Yes, Manon Rayon
Florida
was her name
Panthers.
for Tampa.
Okay, there we
This
go.
is like 92, 94, something like
That's
that.
how much
so-
hockey I know. It was
Yep.
a girl one time in Florida.
Yep, French Canadian.
I only know the
Yeah,
Blackhawks
exactly.
and the Kings,
Yep.
Detroit Red Wings. That's my knowledge.
Of course. Well, the Red Wings are like the Lakers of hockey, so that's why everyone knows about them.
Right.
So
That's why I know about it, because I like the Lakers.
And the Rangers are like the Knicks. They won a few a long
Messier,
time
I only
ago.
know Messier from and I know
Yeah.
they had the cool, the white jerseys with the
Yeah.
blue and the red.
Uh-huh.
They was cool.
Pittsburgh
Jerseys,
Penguins, though. I mean, you say Crosby. Obviously, I'm not a hockey fan, but I mean Mario. All those cats. That's just
But Crosby is the LeBron James of hockey.
yes. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
fantastic. And the crazy thing, real quick point on Sydney, his blade on his stick is almost straight. He has a little tiny curve on it. No one else does that. He's a wizard with his stick, so which is a compliment to him and his skills.
Yep.
What I'm trying to say here, for college football, the second national signing day is Wednesday. So we'll see how that shakes up. So ESPN's going to be showing that all day.
Okay.
with their SEC bias, but it's okay. Whatever.
Okay, we're going to go there. SEC bias. All right. Okay.
Just a little bit. Not that
All right.
he's not necessarily not deserving. They have great teams, but they got a lot of trash.
Okay, fair enough. So watch out for that.
That's coming from the Big Ten.
Oh, that's right. That's what I'm saying. Something about Ohio.
We're Big Ten guys.
Keep
Yeah.
it
Well, I'm not even a Big Ten guy. I'm an Ohio State guy. I'm not one of those that roots for a team in the conference when they're in the bowl games. Oh, let's Michigan win because it's good for the conference. It doesn't matter about the conference. You go undefeated, you're going to make the playoffs, unless you're Central Florida.
So I got the top 10
their own
picks. I guess it's Mel Kiper's picks. Draft. You got
We're
Nick
going
Bosa.
draft. Now we're going draft.
So I'm just saying, you was
Okay.
talking about
The National Signing Day for college.
oh, college.
For
Okay,
college
I
football,
thought we was
yeah.
talking about okay, I thought we
Yeah.
was talking about the draft. Okay.
Yeah, so usually Alabama's #1 in recruiting, which they probably will be this year. But Clemson, I think it's creeping up on them. Georgia is always in the top 5, top 10. So Wednesday, watch for that all day. That's always fun to watch. So you can see how your team,
Didn't
the
Oklahoma
future of
do
your
good?
team.
Didn't
They
Oklahoma
usually
They're
do
always
really well.
up there.
Yeah.
Oklahoma got down when I
Texas will
went,
probably have a little bit of a
Yeah.
recoup here.
Yeah.
Notre Dame.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we'll see.
Right on.
We'll see.
And lastly, baseball.
12 days.
12 days
12
away
days!
from pitchers and
some hype.
catchers reporting. But
Need
still
some drama.
nothing. Machado nowhere. Bryce Harper nothing.
Need some drama, some
what is
news.
going on?
Somebody
Yeah.
do something wrong in the NBA, MLB. I need something. I'm not interested in baseball, and I love my Dodgers, but this is crazy. It's nothing.
Nothing happened.
Nothing happened.
Stagnant.
Yep.
No hot stove.
Yep.
Something.
Yep.
Let me
They're
see.
out of the. There is no hype.
Yeah, that's
Come on,
the
baseball.
problem.
Give us some hype. We need
Yeah,
it.
a little hype. Just
Yep.
a little bit. Just a little bit.
Yep.
Oh, and real quick, because it's just now going to start right after football, right after the Super Bowl's over. We have what is
That
it?
new football
American,
league.
yeah, American Football Alliance.
Yeah, but I gotta see who's gonna be in
Well,
there because it might
hold
be
up.
like the XFL.
NFL Network just picked up to show 19 games live.
Okay.
8 of the 10 Arizona Hot Shots, the local team, primetime games, nationally televised.
Coached by Rick Neuheisel.
Yep.
Yep.
GM'd by
Couldn't tell you.
it's somebody important.
Okay.
Somebody's been around for a while.
Well,
so
you
we'll
know,
see.
our arena football team is hands down one of the best.
Rattlers.
And the Rattlers is the best in the nation. So, you know, I'm sure we got some guys that's leaving that Rattlers system and playing, you know, and you know, the weather out here is beautiful. No, not trying to knock anybody on the East Coast or Midwest. I know.
we're
I
sorry, you guys are cold right
sympathize
now.
with you guys' weather, but
Yep.
we can practice and train here all year round, and you know, I guess that's why, you know, some of the teams.
And that's why when people move out here, they don't go back.
That's true.
That's another reason why we're real quick with the sports things about sports teams. They want to win so bad. Well, the owners of these sports teams aren't from here.
Yeah.
They don't have a history rooted deep in here. When Colangelo left, that ended. When he was done, that ended.
Yeah, you got
So
Chicago
and
ties.
everybody here's a transplant. Buffalo, Chicago
Chicago,
/
LA.
LA,
Yep.
Cleveland.
Yep.
My wife's from Virginia. I don't know many people that are from here,
Yeah.
born and raised here.
Yeah, you do
that
got
state.
Yeah.
That's a problem. And that's why those recruits they go other places.
That's true.
You know, you don't have ASU rooted in the community like it used to be.
That's true. That's true. That's a
So
good
when
point.
those things start to change, things around here will change.
Good point. Good point.
Right on.
Love having you on the show, Jane.
Thank
Yeah,
you, brother.
Jay, hell yeah.
Good,
Yeah,
Killed,
James,
thank you.
appreciate that.
Yeah.
Killed it, boss.
Yeah. And you were talking about having your own podcast. We'd love to be
Yeah,
on your
yeah.
podcast
So once that gets
eventually.
started, probably in the summer, James
Yeah.
out west, we'll have that happening.
Yeah.
It's kind of like just a garage, very similar to what we're doing now. We'll be sitting down. You guys can have some tea or some beverages, whatever.
Some beers.
Sure,
Yeah.
whatever anybody wants. You know,
Like
just
a
hang
nice
out.
nice little hot tea.
Yep,
Take a
there
nice
we go.
green
Yep, a little bit of
ginseng
honey.
tea.
Yep, there you go. And
Ginseng tea.
we'll get down on some more stuff.
Sound good, man.
Right
If there's
on.
anything you guys want to add or anything in the comment section that you want to hear from us talk about, let us know. Let us know how we are doing, if we suck, if you like it, what we need to change. Anything, we're always up for or constructive criticism, I guess, because this is our 3rd show, so we're just trying to improve and get better.
Absolutely.
So I guess we'll see you next week.
Yeah, thanks for having me
Yeah,
on.
sooner
Thanks
or
for having
later
me
we're
on.
gonna be at the Fern Barbershop doing
A location.
doing the show from there.
On
Doing some
location.
out on
Yeah,
location.
so we'll be at the Fern Barbershop. So
Well, there
you'll
might be a
see us
chance that we'll
different.
be out at spring training.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
know,
that'd
we
be
got some
fantastic.
things coming up
That'd be
around
great.
here. You know,
Things
maybe
going
have you
on.
go
Really
check
cool.
out the Dodgers.
Yeah, man, I will be.
Sox aren't out here.
Nope. Yeah, my Red Sox are not here.
So we'll send you on. You have to go watch the Yankees or something. Where's that, Florida?
That's Florida. Yeah, Yankees are
Because we know you love the Yankees.
Yeah, Grapefruit League. No. Yeah. I can't say their name. Shoot, I just said it. Whatever.
Yeah.
All right. All right, guys. Well, thanks for tuning in to the No Hype Zone. Tune in next week.
Yeah.
Right on.
Next
All right,
week.
guys.
All right.